Psalm 37, and this will be our 14th sermon, and a few more sermons on Psalm will wrap up. There's so much more that I'm leaving out, but I hope that we had a glimpse of just plying through the difficult times in life in light of the songs that came out of those suffering and difficult times, trying times, and this is certainly one of those. Again, one of those, and the title is Walking in the Time of Trouble. Psalm 37, I'll be just reading to you from the ESV, the first 7 verses, but I'll be referring to a few other verses, so if you could just have your Bibles open, ready to go back. Psalm 37, verses 1 through 7, I'll be reading to you from the ESV. Psalm of David. Fret not yourself because of evildoers. Be not envious of wrongdoers, for they will soon fade like the grass and wither like the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will act. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday. Be still before the Lord, and wait patiently for Him. Fret not yourself over the one who prospers in his way, over the man who carries out evil devices. This is the word of God. Thanks be to God. Let's ask God's blessing one more time. Father, we want to submerge ourselves into your words, O God, this hour. I pray that you speak to us personally and directly. And I pray that you will lay aside any kind of distractions, any kind of thoughts, any kind of things that we need to take care of. But I pray that this moment will be solely yours from our bottom of our hearts. So speak to us. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. So have you ever been envious of other people? Have you looked at other people's lives? Or have you ever looked at other friends maybe? Or even their social network apps? Have you ever become envious of others? Think about it for a moment. And be honest. Because I certainly have. So when I think about other people, sometimes I have these envious thoughts like, oh, I wish I had his height. Or I wish I had his full set of hair. Or some of you might think, ladies might think, oh, I wish I have her body. Or I wish I have her glam. Or I wish I have their parents. They're so cool, chill, laid back. I wish I was as happy and as carefree as my friends seem to be. I wish I was good at something, like that person. I was good at sports. I wish I was good at that skill, like him or her. I wish my church was like this, like that. I wish I lived in a bigger house, or I wish I had a car. Now that I have a license, I wish I could drive my own. Whatever it may be, list goes on. And it never ends. The older you grow up, there are bigger fish to fry, or bigger things to be envious about. But envy is the quickest way. It's the quickest way to unhappiness. And it is a shortcut to be filled with anxiety. And it is certainly the surest way to misery. Being envious of other people only yields bad things in life. And certainly this psalm echoes that problem. And it certainly is a problem, being envious of others. And it sits right at the very heart of all problems. And how do we know that? Because envy was the first thing that started everything as Adam and Eve began to live on earth. And envy was the one that caused everything to kind of go downhill very, very quickly. And they envied not only Adam and Eve, but certainly Satan too. Right? They had envious thoughts, and they wanted something that they did not have. Or they wanted to have more than what they had compared to other people. Right? Satan, think about Satan. He wanted the praise that God was receiving. And that was the fall of him. And Adam and Eve, they envied what? They wanted the knowledge of good and evil. They wanted to be like they wanted to be wise like God. And with that taking of that fruit, they certainly did get that, right? Now, after eating the fruit, the forbidden fruit, they now know what evil is. Right? Sin has entered. So they now know evil and good. So envy was at the very heart of the problem. And the root of envy is actually pride. Pride. So if you have envious thoughts, if you are discontent with your life because of the sense of envy of others, root cause, the root problem, the root sin is pride that is set in your heart. Thinking that you deserve more. You want more. You deserve more than other people. You want to be better. You want to live a better life. And that is all coming from prideful heart, which leads to envy. And envy only leads to stealing of your joy. It's the surest way, it's the quickest way to be unhappy and you'll be filled with anxiety. Why anxiety? Because when you look at the lives of other people, oh, so-and-so goes to this awesome college. So-and-so is doing this awesome thing with their lives. Man, where am I? Why am I only here? And you start feeling anxious. I need to work harder. I need to be faster, advance in my life so that I could be in that place also with them. Enjoying the glory, the glam, the fabulousness of life. It's the surest way to misery. And certainly David, the author of this psalm, is going through a similar problem. And I don't know if you remember the Psalm of Asaph that we have looked at, Psalm 73. It's kind of a mirror image of that psalm too, where Asaph was looking at the prosperity of the wicked people, and he was also envious, right? While he was suffering deeply in his life, and that is why he kind of wished that he would end his life, because it's so unfair. It cuts deeper. It makes things even harder when you look at other people, especially when they're not godly people. I mean, being envious is bad enough, but it is harder to swallow when you look at those people who are not Christians, who are not loving God, who are not honoring God, but in fact they're rejecting God, they have no regard for God, and yet they're prospering. It cuts deeper and is more troubling and is more perplexing. And we see that in the first two verses of Psalm 37. And as we read, I want you to think about your heart. How envious am I? How satisfied am I? Or, on the other side, how dissatisfied am I with my life? Look at the first two verses here. It says, fret not yourself. So he's almost talking to himself, right? He is fretting. Fretting meaning he's anxious. He is worried because of evildoers. Be not envious of wrongdoers, for they will soon fade like grass and wither like the herb. Right? So their success, their prosperity is only short-lived. So do not fret yourself. Do not be envious of all those wrongdoers in their successes. But then David cuts to the chase. I love this psalm because one thing different about this psalm versus Psalm 73 is that he cuts to the chase. He doesn't beat around the bush. He gets straight to the point and gives us ways, essential ways that we can walk when times are troubling. When your heart is filled with envy or has hints of envy that we may not know of. When you are in trouble, he gives us practical ways, real and essential ways that we can walk. And those are four things, four imperative verbs. So he gives us four verbs as imperatives so for us to walk in. And they're all connected with a preposition and an object. So we're going to all get to that. So first thing first, look at verse 3. So look at all those imperative verbs and the prepositions that connect the object of that verb. What is the first thing that he tells us to do? While you are envious, while you may be fretting because it's troubling times, he says, first thing, you must trust in the Lord. Someone say trust. Trust. We must trust in the Lord and do good. So here, trust is imperative, but rather than taking it as a command, I want all of us to take it as a plea. Right? David is pleading with all of us. He's pleading with us, holding us and saying, you know what, James? Just keep your eyes away from other people. Look into your heart. Look at the Lord and trust in Him. Because when you look around, when you look at all the prosperity of other people, it will only cause you to fret. It will only cause you to be anxious about your life. But I want you to focus and trust in what? What's the object that is connected here? In the Lord. Not trust the process. You know, there's a saying, trust the process. Yes, we're in the process. It will get us there. But not trusting in your own efforts. Not trusting in your own grace. In your own ability. I mean, we're all very, very able and capable men and women here. There is nothing that you cannot do if you put your mind to it, right? I trust that. But rather than trusting in yourself, David is encouraging us to trust in the Lord. For who He is and what He is doing. Not only in your life, but also doing in the world too. Trust in the sovereignty of the Lord. And then He encourages us to do good. Do good. Continue to do good. Regardless of what's happening in the world, your role is to trust in the Lord and do good. There's another verse I want to share. This was another psalm that I wanted to preach on because I was running out of time. I'm just going to plug it in here. Psalm 20 verse 7. I want all of us to read together. One of my favorite verses in Psalms. Psalm 20 verse 7. Let's read together. Ready, set, go. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. What an amazing, amazing verse, right? Some trust chariots. What's chariots? What does it symbolize? What are chariots, you guys? It symbolizes military power. And military power, the more military you have, equals what? More security, more sense of security. Right? Some trust that power. Some trust security that we have. The forces of this nation. I believe U.S. is number one power in the world. Some trust that. Although it is a good thing to trust, it shouldn't be the ultimate thing that we must hold on to. And some trust in horses. What are horses? Horses back then symbolized what? It's like your cars, like Ferraris, Lamborghinis. Lamborghinis are what? A big bull? Ferrari's a horse, right? It's riches. It's your wealth. Some trust in chariots. Some trust in horses. And man, put together, horses pulling those chariots, you're unbeatable. You're invincible. But the psalmist says, but we, what? Trust is something far better. Something that is far stronger. Something that is far richer than any chariot, any horses. And that is what? In the name of our Lord, Savior God. That's the kind of trust I want all of us to have as we plow through this troubling times. You may look around, it may cause you to be envious. But no, fix your eyes on God. Trust in who God is and what He is doing in your life and who He is to you. He is greater than your chariots. He's greater than your horses. We trust in the name of our Lord. Amen. And I pray that we really make that our anthem. And if you can trust in the Lord, regardless of what the world is going down, whatever is going through, and whatever is going down in the world, we can continue to do good and be good and be the good that God is encouraging us to do, right? Trust in the Lord and do good and dwell in the land in faithfulness, says the Lord. Don't mind other people. Just continue to do your calling, your work, and that is to be the good in this world. What's the second thing? So number one is trust. Number two is what? Delight yourself in the Lord. Someone say delight. So that's the second step. First is trust. Second is delight. But again, what is the preposition that connects to our object? Preposition is in, and once again, our object is the Lord. Delight yourself in the Lord. So, in this verse, the order in which how this verse happens is very, very critical. The rest of the verse says this: delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. But many times we have a desire of our hearts first, and then we try to bring God into what we desire. Right? We have already decided what we want to do. God, I want to do this. God, I want to be this. God, I want to go to this college. God, I want to get married at this age. God, I want to make this much money with this kind of job. We planned it all out until the moment we die. We have the desires of our hearts set, and then we call upon the Lord. And then we try to fit God into our desires. And then we try to wrestle. Man, how can I delight in the Lord? And then I have all these desires. And because the order is whack, it conflicts. There's clashing that happens. But the order here is first, trust in the Lord. Second, delight yourself in the Lord. And then He will give you. He will be the one giving you the desire. A couple of days ago, I took my daughter to the doctor's just for a regular checkup. And the doctor asked, hey, so what do you want to be when you grow up? And Joelle had no good answer because she has a lot of things that she wants to do. But she hasn't decided yet. And at first I was like, oh man, I kind of wish you have some kind of a goal that you reach for. But on the other hand, I was kind of happy because before her desires are all set, before everything is set concretely, I want her to have room for God to come in and be the center, be the delight, be the joy that she lives for, and then God being the one giving the desires for her. And then formulating her life with God's delight in the center of your hearts. I want to challenge you. All of you are young, still pursuing, dreaming, formulating your life, including myself. I consider myself not yet done because I know God's work is so much more to be done in my life. But whatever that you may be, whether it be scientist, or whether it be a nurse or a musician, athlete, whatever it may be, let God give you the desire. Let God be the ultimate delight of your heart, and then, guess what? He will give you all kinds of desires to serve Him. How are you delighting in the Lord? How is He a source of joy and happiness in your life? If there's a quick test to do that, the test to see whether you delight in the Lord is this. In a given day, how much do you go to Him? In thought, in the Word, in prayer, or just in just daily conversation? How much are you referring to the Lord? Hey God, I need to do this, but what should I do? Just short prayers you shoot to Him. It doesn't have to be a formal prayer. Oh, Heavenly Father. No. It can be a short conversation. God, I don't know what to do. Help me. God, I lost my keys. Help me find it. I say that prayer often too many times. But how often are you going to the Lord? How much is He a delight, a source of joy in your life? If He is a delight in your life, He will give you the desires. So the desire is not what you want to do. Just like Satan and Adam and Eve was, right? They had their desire. They wanted to go get it. They were envious and they wanted it all. That was their desire. But God's delight was not first in their lives. But if you can delight in the Lord first, then God will be the one giving you the right kind of things to desire. Ultimately for the Lord. Right? It will be totally different. Your vocation may not change. Your job may not change. But everything will be changed. if you have delight in the Lord. Because now, instead of working for your own comfort, you're working towards what God desires in your life. If it was just all about making money, now it'll be more about what can I do with this money to serve the Lord, further His kingdom, help the suffering people around me. Everything will be different. So trust in the Lord. Delight in the Lord. Thirdly, commit your way to the Lord. Verse 5. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him and He will act. So third step is what? Commit. Someone say commit. So out of all the Psalms series, if you can just get these four steps. I don't like calling it steps, but 4 imperative verbs. We'll be in the right place with the Lord. Trusting the Lord, delighting in Him, and committing your way to the Lord. Committing your way to the Lord and trusting in Him. And guess what? Again, it says here, He will be the one acting it. Acting it. King James Version renders it this way. He shall bring it to pass. He's going to make it happen, says the Lord. Whatever it may be, if you trust in Him, if you fully commit into following God, He will make it happen. He will take you places that you have not dreamed of, that you have not thought of, but it will be the right place that you need to be. So not knowing the way could be stressful, right? And that's another anxiety that adds up. Because when you look around, people have paved the way and it feels like you need to follow them and to be wherever they need to be so that you can earn that title. Success. Successful. You had made it title. So it could be stressful not knowing how to get there. Right? And nowadays, driving with GPS is a breeze. But if you are going somewhere the first time, it still can be stressful, right? Or if you're having a vacation and you go somewhere very, very remote and GPS is kind of spotty, it could be so stressful. I remember driving across Texas. Texas is it's so huge, it's another country. And it's a vast area of just absolutely nothingness. And my GPS was cutting off in the middle of nowhere without knowing how much further I need to go until I reach the next gas station. Man, it was stressful. But not knowing the way could add all kinds of pressures. And yet, the psalmist is encouraging us. David is encouraging us. You know what? Don't be. Commit your way fully. Commit your way fully in following the Lord. What does the word commit imply? It implies committing 100%. Many times we don't fully commit in following the Lord. We want to follow the Lord whenever Pastor James is around. Or we want to say the certain words. We want to behave a certain way whenever church people are around. But when you're not, you're totally a different person. So you're not fully committed in following your ways. But God is saying, don't worry about whether being mocked or whether you may feel like you're left behind or they're not thinking you're cool. Don't worry. Commit all the way. Trust in Him. And He will act. He will bring it to pass. And I want to compare it this way. It's like jumping off skydiving. Right? Once you jump, you have jumped. There's no halfway committing when you're skydiving. You jump, you go all in. All the fear that you have, you hold on to that and you jump. Trusting in what? The parachute. Trusting in the parachute that it will work, that it is sturdy, that it is all checked, it has passed all quality checks, and it will safely get you to the ground, giving you the experience of your life. Has anyone skydived yet? Maybe that should be one of our checklists that we all go through sometime. Commit to the Lord in that manner, you guys. We go all in. Jump. There's fear. There's all kinds of fear. But we jump. We can commit your way to the Lord. Why? Because we trust in that parachute. We trust in the Lord. There's no halfway dangling off of the plane. because that means you have not jumped. You have not skydived. Or is it sky dove? I don't know, whatever the term is. Right? Commit all the way. And lastly, I think this is one of the most important things for seasoned Christians. If you have been a Christian many years, this is something that we all need to learn. Be still before the Lord. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. King James, again, renders it in a new way. It says, rest in the Lord. Rest in the Lord. I love that translation for this verse. Be still is, we know be still. There's a lot of song about being still. But resting in the Lord. Are you able to rest in the Lord? When you're not trusting in the Lord, when you're not delighting yourself in the Lord, when you're not committing yourself fully in the ways of the Lord, you cannot rest. I'll assure you. I will assure you, you will not rest. You will constantly fret. You will constantly be in the state of anxiety. You will not be happy. You will not be satisfied. You will constantly be left behind. Feeling like you have to play this game of chasing. But verse 7 says, rest in the Lord. Be still in the Lord. Or before the Lord, I should say. So the preposition is different. Everything else was in the Lord, to the Lord, but this one is before the Lord. Like a child that sleeps before the Lord, before mom and dad. Fully resting. Why? Because they have their moms and dads in their backs, assuring them of this peace. But there's another clause that follows, wait patiently for Him. And then it says, fret not yourself over the ones who prosper in his way, over the man who carries out evil devices. Right? So the contrasting part is fretting, worrying about the prosperity of the evil ways, but we can rest assured, but wait on the Lord. Waiting. So how do you understand waiting on the Lord? Wait patiently for the Lord. Many times when we say we wait on the Lord, we wait very, very passively. Oh yeah, I'm a Christian. I believe in the Lord, so I'm just going to be super weighty. I'm just going to wait and wait and wait until just things happen. Yes, God did say He will act. He will be the one bringing, good things to us. And yet, when the Bible says wait, it means waiting on the Lord actively, proactively, not passively, just waiting for things to happen in your life, but always constantly readying yourself until God says, go. So it refers back to the third point, committing your ways to the Lord. We're waiting for His command so we can take that next step. We're not waiting passively, but we're waiting proactively until God gives us a command so we can plunge, we can run, we can act upon without hesitation. And there's a beautiful picture that I think describes this proactive waiting in a beautiful way. I've mentioned this in the past from the movie Braveheart. I think you guys are too young. You guys know Braveheart? Mel Gibson movie, beautiful movie, Oscar-winning movie. It is a movie set back in the days where England was kind of conquering most of the part of the land, and Scots, they wanted to fight for their independence, right? So before they became Great Britain or whatever, they wanted to be independent, and they were fighting against the emperors or the empires of England, and this is the fighting scene. So, yeah. So see how they wait, okay? Go. So that's the Scots. Those are the cavalries of England. tense. That's the kind of waiting that God wants us to have. Right? That sense of waiting. When we say wait, many times we become very, very passive Christians, weak Christians. Right? But we need to be ready. In a way, and how do we ready ourselves for the moment when it comes? God says, go, I want you to go and serve me in this way. How can we be ready? Go back the first 3 steps. Are you trusting in the Lord? Always. Are you delighting yourself in the Lord? Are you committing your ways in the Lord? Those are all steps. You wait patiently for the command of our commander, King. And when he says go, then we will be fully ready to go. I want to wrap up this message with this thought. I want all of us to live focused on our commander. And yet we fix our eyes on all the things around us that trouble us, that cause us to constantly fret, that cause us to be dissatisfied, be discontented. And yet God is saying, you know what, focus on me. Trust in me in all that I do. It may seem wrong in your eyes now. It may seem wrong for those soldiers to just wait with doing nothing. And yet when the time comes, use all of your life for me. Be ready. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. And I want us to read verse 39 and then we'll end here. Verse 39 of Psalm 37. Let's read together. Ready, set, go. The salvation of the righteous is from the Lord. He is their stronghold in the time of trouble. In your time of trouble, remember, salvation of the righteous is from the Lord. That is why we constantly have to fix our eyes on the Lord and wait on Him. Trust in Him. Delight in Him and commit your ways to Him. Let's bow our